Hi everyone. So I'm just going to do a little intro about what I'm actually going to do tonight while most of you log on and while I wait for the audience to grow, because as you know it takes some time. So give me a shout out, let me know that you're here so I can see. We can always see the numbers of people who have joined us, but not everybody says hi, so it'd be really nice tonight if we could all work together, say hi. And then I've just done a little primo video on Instagram as well, because we never actually do much work on Instagram, and we have actually got quite a lot of followers on there. So if any of you have followed us from that little intro video, again, please say hi, that you're a newbie and you've come over from Instagram. It's always nice to know where you are. And if you're around the world, tell me where you are around the world and what time it is where you are, just for interest. So tonight there's 3 of us in the kitchen, so we've no guest, it's just me. It's going to be a long session. I'm actually going to show you how to make a wedding cake tonight. Well, put a wedding cake together and decorate it with Nifty Nozzles. And we've got Maria in the kitchen, who is going to be doing some close-ups, and we've got John on the camera. As you know, he never really likes to show himself unless he actually does it accidentally and twists the screen round towards him. So I'm just going to get John to shout out a few hellos as you're joining us, and how I want it to work tonight, because there's me and it's a long session and we've got a lot to get through. You know that it takes 30 seconds for us to see the question. So if you want to ask a question, if I've already answered it, if the rest of the group can answer it for me again, that would be great. Save John repeating it. But through the night, I do want you to ask me questions, and John will try and shout out as many as he can. Obviously, you can't ask every single one, because we're never getting outdone. So, John, do you want to say who's here this evening?
Yeah, we've got a lot of regulars. We've got Maureen, Lindsay, Robert Allen's here, Sarah Williams, Melanie Grant, Camille, Elaine.
I just saw Melanie Grant on Instagram.
We've got Martin, we've got Samantha, we've got Asia here from South Africa.
Oh, well.
We've got Sean, we've got Gillian, we've got Louise, we've got Karen, Maxine, Lisa, Sam, Kathleen from Kentucky.
Kentucky as well, so South Africa, Kentucky.
So we've got Lindsay, we've got
UK.
Sarah, Mandy, Kat, Debbie. I think that's most people. I think I might be repeating myself here,
yeah.
But lots and lots of regulars.
Super, that's what we like. Every Monday night. Do you know what's so nice about this? When I started this in February, and I sat down with John and said, I think we'll do some of these Facebook Lives. If you see me looking a bit strange, John's leaning the iPad on something, which I'm really worried about might go flying. And then you'll see him again. I'm sure you lot will find it amusing, but I don't think I will. So when we started this in February, we actually didn't know how long it would go. And I am really pleased, and John is, and Maria, of how supportive you have been. It is hard work every week putting it all together for you guys, but the nicest thing is knowing that you all keep returning, and we're really, really grateful for that. As you know, our demos are free and we're never going to charge for them. We have guests, as you know, pop along, and they work really hard prepping the week before, bringing things with them. So let's talk about Carol, who was here last week, and some of the goodies that we've got in the kitchen today and what we're actually going to do. So John, if you want to just pop over here, let's do a quick reminder. So Carol Haycock was here last week, okay, and she made the peony here, and she used these peony cutters. They're on the website, and that's what she made. So any of you want to go back to last week's episode, you can see how she made that. She also made the leaves, and the leaves here, she used the Foliage All Sorts set, which we have in stock. And then the gingerbread man, that was a new one. That was just released last week. The kit's in stock as it was last week. She used the star cutter. She used the multi-ribbon tool. She used the letters. All these are all actually here. They're all in stock. She used the tools. Again, they're in stock. So everything's here. Just a quick reminder. I didn't have the foam boards last week. So when she was using it to make the little Mexican hats, not caps, I actually didn't have those in stock, but they're in stock now. So if any of you guys want those, and you all went crazy for the water pen. So I bought quite a lot of water pens. We went out of stock, but I've just put them back into stock today. They're a fabulous little tool. Okay, and then the roses. She did show you how to make a rose. and I will just get one here. So she did show you how to make a rose using the rose cutters. Now you will see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes, and they are all based on the size of the rose that you want to make. And last week Carol used this very small one here, and she also used the easiest rose cutter as well. Yeah. And then a couple of new tools that we've got in. We've got the pattern comb sets from Cake Star. I'm going to use the four-sided cake scraper tonight. I've only got 10 left in stock. So if anybody wants those, they're ones that Alexander makes, but I've only got 10 left in stock. But if you don't, when I show you how sharp they are, you might prefer these plastic combs. So we've got those in, they're with Cake Star. We've also got the mini set in, which is a set of 4. Cornflower pouches as usual, PME's new piping gel, well, a new bigger tub, that's in. And then we've got all the press size tools. Maria's just posted the video again where Gwen and Kim made the pillow cake and they used the diamond press ice. So all you guys who've got the DK applicator, and if you haven't got one, it is back in stock. So if you want to order one today, it will be dispatched tomorrow. So everybody's orders have all gone out and we're now fully stocked again. And this one is the press ice tool. This is the diamond one, the one that you actually see on that pillow. So fabulous one, that one. Probably one of my favourites. We also have the zigzag and the ribbons, the drape, and then the dotty ones here with all the little dots on. So we've got all those in stock. Yeah. Then I'm going to use the Colour Splash range as usual. There's a couple missing because I've pulled them out for what I'm going to use for tonight. And then let's go around here, John, and have a look what else we're doing. So if you just want to stay there, John. So next week, just in case you wondered what John was leaning on, I was quite concerned. He had his iPad led on there, and I could just imagine it going backwards like that and then having a little disaster in the kitchen. So this is a great 3-in-1 tool, okay? Well, tool, electric appliance, whatever you want to call it. And this is a great one for school holidays, or you want to make some cakes very quickly. It's a 3-in-1 because you can make little donuts in it, whether it's donuts, real donuts with a donut mix, or donut cakes that you want to decorate. You've got your muffin pans here. These come as a set of 2. And the one that I like the best is the cake pops. I hate making cake pops. I hate making cake and having to crumble it all up and mush it all up with the buttercream and get it all together. I just don't like it all over my fingers mushed up. So this is going to be a very easy way of making cake pops. So next week I'm actually going to demo this product. I've never used it myself, but the lady who makes this, who owns this company, I've watched her demos several times. I've had a chat with her. She's told me it's very easy. So we're going to see that live next week. If I get a chance to have a little sneaky go before, I will do. Okay. And then we've got the gingerbread house in stock for Christmas. I don't know if there's a picture of the gingerbread house there. Can you see that? So that's already in stock, and this is made by a company called Baked In. They do the rainbow kit. We've got the rainbow layer kit on our website and the chocolate layer kit. So these are great, again, for the kids, and basically everything's weighed out for you. You know, they couldn't have made it any easier. They put a template in there as well. Don't know where the template's gone. They put a template in there as well on how to make the house. And I call these guys the Baked In Boys because their company is called Baked In. And they're 2 brothers, they're called Joe and Patrick. 2 handsome guys, and we're going to be very fortunate. They're going to be joining us in the kitchen on the 20th of November. And they're actually going to make this. I'm not sure if they're going to make anything else, but they're definitely going to demo this. And I think I might ask them to do the rainbow cake as well. So this is next in as well. Brand new cake box. This is lovely, great presentation box for your 6 cupcakes. This is what should I say? It's not plastic. What would you call it? I don't know. I suppose it is plastic, really. So, but this is a cupcake box, new in. You don't get the cakes, I'm afraid. You just get the box with the insert. And these are the cakes that I actually decorated for you last week with the mini Nifty Nozzles, which is sold out. So I'm really sorry, guys. I have got another shipment coming over. I don't know if they'll make it in time for Cake International, but they will make it in time for Cake and Bake Manchester. So where I thought it would make it in time for Cake International, not Manchester, it's the Manchester guys who are going to be lucky who are going to be able to buy those sets there. So they have been put in the post to me, but anything that comes from Russia is a nightmare. It takes 14 days. So unfortunately we're going to have to wait. So it'll be Manchester who'll get those and the website. This is this little scraper that I'm going to demo tonight. This was made by Alexandra as well. It's a 4-sided scraper. I've only got 10 left in stock, okay. Now he is a dangerous little boy, okay, and we just wrap him up like this, and we do tell you, very sharp, please open with care, and I do mean with care. It's a great scraper, and it's what I've used on these cakes here, and I'm going to use it again, this little pattern. But as I say, there's only 10 left, and I'm not sure if I'm going to actually buy any more, yeah? Tonight we're going to do the wedding cake bundle, and that's this arrangement of nozzles here. So I'll just let John zoom in. So this is this selection of nozzles there. Now normally they're £24.92 for the set. I normally put them on offer for £20 on the website, but what we've done is, just for tonight only, anybody who wants this set, it's £17.99. So if you want this set, it's £17.99, and you'll only be able to get it until I take it off the website tomorrow, okay? And then it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. It'll go back to £20 at the show, so if you're at the show, you'll get it then, and then it'll go back up to its usual price at £24.95. So there's a nice saving on there, and those are the nozzles that we're going to use tonight. And then the wedding cake. So what are we doing then? We're going to make this tonight. Now these are styrofoam cakes, okay, and this one's been battered a little bit because he's been to all the shows, so you'll have to excuse him. But this is a little 2-tier one, and what I'm going to make tonight is I'm going to make a Carol Deacon Madeira cake. I've actually never made one before until Louise Brimlow came on a few months ago and showed me how to make one, and then I made one for a friend's wedding cake in August. It tasted fabulous, so I've made one tonight, put it all together, so I've got it there ready to crumb coat for you, but I'm actually going to get the mix, put the mix together for you so you can see it live. We're going to put it in the oven, it'll bake, and hopefully by the time we come and do catch up or at the end of the session, it'll be ready to come out the oven, yeah? So we'll do that, we'll talk about them. And then if John just pops over here, Christmas cake boxes are in stock, okay, so you can buy the Christmas boxes, you can buy them individually like this. This is the log box, and there's the 8-inch square, the 10-inch square, so these are called Holly Christmas boxes. This is the children's Christmas box, it's a 10-inch, and we also do that as a combo as well, so that comes with a silver board. This one is a combo set, so it comes with the holly board, and the log box as well comes with a board as well. So if you don't want a board, you can buy them individually. If you want them, 3 of them with a board, they're on the website as combo sets. We did a flash sale, and it was a flash sale of the icing sugars. We put them on sale. What day did we put them on sale, John? Thursday. We should have finished the sale last night, but John said because we're going live tonight, we are doing it tonight, but it will finish tonight. So if you haven't got your sugars, they're all reduced. Don't forget we do the 5 kilo bags and the 2.5 kilo bags, so there's massive savings on those. The bundle deals of 5 of even more savings, and also there's 36 flavours on the website. So grab them while you can. I'm going to be using Sugar Paste Direct tonight, so I've got a lot to show you. I'm going to show you how to cover the board like Kim Firth did. Now there's lots of firsts for me tonight, okay, so this is going to be a first. I watched Gwen do it the other week for the first time, and she did very well, so I thought if Gwen can do it, I can do it here for you guys. So here we go, yeah? So first of all, we're going to start with baking our cake. So we're going to make the Carol Deacon Madeira Cake. So is there any questions anybody wants to ask so far, John?
No. Can you get giant cupcake boxes, because some people are finding them hard to get?
Yeah, I can get them. The problem is the company I've ordered them from, they've always come different each time. And the way that they fold out, unfortunately, I have taken them off the website. So if you really want them, I'll bring them back. But the way that they open, a few people have said that they've arrived broken, and it isn't. The way that they've opened, you've actually ripped them apart. So that's caused me a few issues, because they just sort of, They don't open like a normal box, they sort of concertina out like this, which is a bit strange, and then you put it all back together. But I will get in touch with the company and come back. So Johnny, you alright there? Yeah? Alright then, just putting some strange faces behind the camera like he does. Is your back hurting? Right, okay. Right. So these are 4 cakes that I made before, okay, and this is the Carol Deacon recipe. And how to know that it's cooked, and I've actually over baked these, so we'll see what they're like. When I read the recipe, I did the 8-inch round recipe. What I didn't realise was it was for a deep tin like this. So I had to divide it. I said to Maria, oh my goodness, there's a lot of here, Maria. We'll have to split these. So we've got 4 cakes because I did 2 lots. But this is what I'm going to crumb coat together for you. And the recipe's on the website. Is it Caroline? Maria? Yep, calling you Caroline. Where did that come from? Eh? Right, so, okay, very simple. So what Carol Deacon says, this is what you do, okay? 12 ounces, we're doing the 8-inch recipe, so 12 ounces of self-raising flour sieved. And she says, put that in the bowl first. This is an all-in-one recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that in the bowl first. And I shall take my mixer out. So we're going to pop that in first. I'm going to pop the butter in. Now it's 12 ounces of self-raising flour, okay, but 10 ounces of butter. So we're going to put that in as well. As usual, butter doesn't just pop out the pan. Got to help it. So I'm going to get rid of that. Then we've got 10 ounces of caster sugar. Now it does say 5 medium eggs, but I asked John to pick up large eggs, so I'm using 4. So let's crack those and get those in as well. So I did weigh them, and I googled the weight of 5 eggs, and 4 eggs worked out roughly about the same. So it should be 5 medium eggs, but instead I'm using 4 large eggs. Just going to put that in. Get rid of the mix. There's some butter. Now this is an all-in-one recipe, okay?
What butter have you used?
All I've done is I stick with my unsalted butter, and again I've just bought. Well, in fact, you've picked it up today. I've just bought the shop butter. So you picked this up from Morrison's, was it, John?
No,
Or did you
Aldi.
pick this at Aldi? Yeah. So it really, John does all the shopping in the house. I'm really lucky. He doesn't do any DIY, but he does cook all the meals, and they are good because look at the size of me. And he does all the food shopping as well. So this one's from Aldi, and that's what we're using tonight. So what Carol says is, and this is what I did exactly before, you put it on a slow mix for 1 minute, okay? So we're just going to incorporate it. Not for 1 minute actually. You put it on so it is incorporated. And I'm just going to lift it up there. Now at this stage you could add some essence if you wanted to. I'm not going to, because to be fair there's going to be enough flavoured buttercream on this that we don't need to. And there's going to be jam in the middle. So let me just get that in there. And then once you've incorporated everything, you beat it for 1 minute. Yeah? So we're just going to have the beater going for 1 minute. And I'll just go and wash my hands. So it's 1:45. That's my second hand. And I'll be back in a second once I wash my hands. So John, if you want, you can walk around the kitchen, look at anything that's going. I'm just going to get myself down the block. Is there anybody asking any questions so far?
None at the moment.
We're all quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting any hands off anybody?
We have, yeah.
Yeah. So is there any more people we need to shout out to?
I'm not sure what attracted who's joined us.
Joined us, right, okay then. So we've got 15 seconds left of my 1 minute. I don't know whether she's very strict about how long you beat it for, but she does specifically say 1 minute, so I'm going to stick with that. There we go. Yeah, okay, a little blast at the end there. And then I am using, let me get the cake table.
The butter was £1.40 in Aldi today.
Was it? Well, John went to Morrison's today and couldn't get any. Sold out. Only all the expensive stuff was in.
There wasn't any of that.
Pardon?
There wasn't any of that.
Wasn't none of that either. They did say there's going to be a butter shortage, didn't they? So I'm going to use the Cake Star spray. You can use any release that you want, but I'm just going to give that a go around the pan. I like the Cake Star. Some of you think differently about it. I'm putting in a piece of paper here, greaseproof paper. You can actually cut your own. This one's a cheat. I picked these up from B&M Bargains. I think John and Maria might not be able to breathe at the moment. No, I've sprayed all that all over the place. I can feel it on my lungs. Can you feel it? She will have a coughing fit. So let me just get up my mixer and let's see how that's doing. And then we'll start putting the cakes together. Get these in the oven. So I just wanted to get this out of the way first because this is the longest bit that takes to do. So the other cakes I made this afternoon. So there's your mix, all incorporated. And as I say, that mix there, I split between 2 pans. So if John just shows you again, in fact I'll bring these up. I split this amount between 2 sandwich pans. I cooked them on low. I did them in the other kitchen. And because they're newer ovens, I did them on 140. Carol recommends 150 to 160, but I've set these ovens at 150 as well. So I'm just going to bake them again nice and low. But I'm going to do this one just in the 1 pan, okay? Because I presume that's what she actually meant. But obviously I wasn't reading the instructions properly when I made the first batch.
Got someone saying, can we work in grams, please, not ounces?
Yeah, I know. She does put on the recipe, I can't tell you what it is in grams, but Maria has put the link on tonight to Carol Deacon's recipe. And on there she puts for every size cake tin, Carol has, for the Madeira Cake, okay, for every size cake tin, round and square, and she puts it in ounces and grams as well. Really very easy to follow. Yeah, you've got to give this old girl some space, you know. I am 55, I never did get over that metric thing. I'm still in feet and inches. Can't be doing with all that centimetre stuff. And when it comes to being weighed, I'm still in stones and pounds. So when I go to the doctor's and he weighs me in kilos, in fact when Laura had a baby a few weeks ago and he was weighed in kilos, I just looked at him, I had no idea what he was. So there you go. So we're just going to put this in the pan, spread it out. But as I say, Carol has wrote it all down. And it's the Carol Deacon recipe. Is this post pinned to the top of the page now, Maria? So this tonight's session that was announced has been posted to the top of the page. It's pinned there. So if you go along there, you will see the link to Carol's website with the recipe on it. It takes you straight to the Madeira. So let's put this in the oven. That's one job down. So it's 10:25, 8:25.
Do we sell those spatulas?
The spatulas, we don't anymore. I don't think so. We might have some. We might have a couple left actually. If you go to the website, go to Zeal. So shop by brand. So it's the website is sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. And if you go to the brand Zeal, I think there are some actually. I think it's the ones with the gingerbread man on. So where's the gingerbread man? Just see which is appropriate for Christmas. There he is, the little fella. So I'm sure there's still some of those left. Yeah. You never know, somebody might go and have a look at the website while we're live tonight and come back and let you know. So One of the other things that I didn't tell you about tonight, so when we've had the sugar crafters in, Christina Ludlam brought one of these in, a smaller one, half the size. And I've never seen them before, wondered what they were. And therefore keeping your sugar paste. So when you've used these cutters, or any type of cutter where you need to keep it flat before you start rolling it out, so when you've cut them out, you just lay them out on your board and you sit this on top, this little floppy thing, and it keeps it your sugar paste nice and soft, doesn't go hard. So it gives you a chance then to cut everything out, put it under the Stay Fresh mat, and then you can start ball tooling it and doing whatever else you need to do with it. Yeah? So I'm going to use this board and we're going to start putting our cake together. So let's go there. Start putting our cake together. So I'll get the first one out. Here we are. Take my greaseproof paper off. Yeah, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? Actually, it's nice. So I'm not going to level it because it's for Nifty Nozzles and I don't need to level. All I need to do is put some jam in the middle. So put some jam in the middle. The good thing when you're using Nifty Nozzles, and just let me tell you now girls, I always tell you I am a hobby baker, and when I started Sugar and Crumbs in 2013, that's exactly what I was, a hobby baker. What did I know then? No idea, just how to make some cupcakes. And then as I've gone along, I'm just like you guys, I watch tutorials on YouTube, and everything's all self-taught. I've been to a couple of classes, I go to the cake shows and have a little listen on what's going on there. And then we're doing the Facebook Lives and having people come along to see us. I've been fortunate enough to, you know, have a little close-up of what everybody else does. What I class as a hobby baker is somebody who has an idea of what they're doing, but can't do it professionally, okay? And that's where I see myself. I don't make cakes for sale to anybody. I don't sell cakes to anybody. The cakes that I actually make, I give away, and I give them away to family and friends who are quite happy to have my bakes. Yeah, and I look at it, I've got a bit of knowledge, and the main thing is I do it my way. And to me, if you're a hobby baker and you don't want to be put under pressure by the professionals, that's exactly how it should be. Do it your way and enjoy it, and that's exactly what I do. So, and one of the things that I really love about Nifty Nozzles is that you can actually do everything not the correct way. So here, some of you professional guys be going, oh no, she hasn't leveled it, she hasn't cut that off. Well, you don't have to, because we do everything rustic. And whenever I finish a cake, everybody always likes it. So, and that's the main thing, it tastes good, you like it, everybody's happy. So as I say, I did Carol's recipe before, and I realised afterwards, once I'd done the recipe, that I should have put all that mix into one tin and then maybe cut it. But instead, I didn't. And I put it in the sandwich tins here. Now, what shall we do here, guys? Should I keep it this high or should we go higher? I think that's plenty enough really, isn't it? It's going to be one big high cake. So where I said to Maria before, crikey Maria, we've got to use a lot of butter here tonight, sugar and eggs, and I sent John shopping for everything. I actually didn't need it, so I'm a sponge clear here. So we've got 3 layers, and what we're going to do now is we're going to crumb coat it. Yeah. Now this is what we call the first coat. So I'm going to try and clear up as we go along. So I'm just going to, so this cloth here isn't my dishcloth, it's just my clean cloth that I'm using for the table tonight. And if I was you, I would invest in a couple of cloths that you use just for when you're baking. Don't use them for your pots, just keep them as your little baking cloths. Okay? I've already made some buttercream. I know some of you wanted to watch how I make buttercream, but the problem is, by the time you put the mixer on, it makes that much noise, and you can't hear anything. So does anybody want to ask any questions? Is everybody all right so far?
I think everybody's okay, and some people are very kindly responding and putting links in to some questions.
Good. Well, if anybody can put the links in for the Carol Deacon recipe, that'll help. That'd be great. Rob Allen's usually very good at putting links in for us.
Rob's here, Laura's here as well, so.
Laura who? Oh, Laura. Laura, daughter Laura, or Laura admin? Oh, daughter Laura. Right, don't squash my cakes under there, John. So, you can see him just leaning on my box of mini Nifty Nozzle cupcakes. So, let me get my phone on charge over here. So all we're going to do is rough crumb coat, and this is the first coat, okay? So we're going to get this on now so we can get it in the fridge, and we'll get the first...
Lynn's asked, what's the pink thing under the cake?
Okay, it's called a grippo mat, okay? And we do several of these. We do round ones. The round ones are really cheap. I think that, I don't know how much they are, but they're not a lot of money. But if anybody goes to baking accessories, they'll see them. And then we've got this oblong one, and we do these in various colours. And we do them in pink, grey, and then there's assorted colours. But they are struggling, the company I deal with, to get the pink ones, because I prefer to just have all pink. I think they're great. What they do is they stop your cake slipping, and I find them great when I'm putting cakes in the car. You put live one of these down, you can stick your cake box on it, and it's not going anywhere, which is great. Also, when we went to the cake show the other week, we had to stack loads of cakes in the car, didn't we, Maria? So I had to stack them all on top of each other, and I just spread these out in between boxes, and then nothing moved whatsoever. So I've put it on there so that this doesn't move. So I'm just going to quickly crumb coat this. Now, the good thing again, as I said with Nifty Nozzles, okay, you just slap this stuff on. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to slap this on, doesn't need to be neat. I'm just going to put on our first layer. And the flavour we're using tonight, if anybody wants to know, is Raspberry Ripple, and the kitchen smells gorgeous. I'm actually amazed at how Laura's had a chance to watch tonight. She's getting ready to go on holiday tomorrow. So she's taking Harrison, our new baby, on his first holidays tomorrow with Holly and Josh. Lucky them. Wish I was going on holiday, don't you, John?
I do.
Yeah. Give anything for a bit of sunshine now. So all we're going to do is just slap this buttercream on. Doesn't take long, you can fill in all your gaps. Now, if you were a professional or you wanted to do a naked cake, you could actually scrape off quite a lot. So let me just put my excess in here because I don't want it going back in the bowl. So if you wanted to do a naked cake, all you're really doing is putting all that buttercream on, and then you scrape it off to how much you want.
Could you run through the recipe for buttercream just on the ratio of icing sugar and butter, please?
Okay, I only make a simple buttercream recipe, okay?
Apparently Harrison's watching.
Harrison's watching, he's got his eyes open.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm surprised about.
I am surprised, he never had his eyes open, does he? Mind you, he was looking at me last week. Right, the simple buttercream recipe that I use, and it really is a basic one. When you're using Nifty Nozzles, you do need a lot of butter, okay? So don't put the minimum in. For the Nifty Nozzles, you need to use a minimum of 500 grams of butter, okay, and 1,000 grams of icing sugar. Now, if you're using the flavoured icing sugar, personally, I like to use it full strength, but I also realise because you are putting a hell of a lot on the cake, you could dilute it. So use 500 grams of plain icing sugar, 500 grams of flavoured icing sugar. So what we've got there is 1,000 grams, okay, which is a kilo of icing sugar and 500 grams of butter. Now I always use unsalted butter, and the reason I use that, I don't know why I use that actually. The very first lesson I had back in 2013, when a lady came and taught me how to make cupcakes, and she just used unsalted butter, and I just kept with that. If you don't like it because it's too sweet, I wouldn't use salted, all salted. I think that's a bit too much. What I would do is I would use 1 bar of salted and 1 bar of unsalted, and therefore you get a lightly salted butter, and therefore your buttercream won't be as sweet. Just takes that sweetness away. And if you like a really salty caramel, our salty caramel is delicious, but if you want that just a bit more salty, then again use a lightly salted butter, or if you want to go all out, then use a salted block as well. You don't need to, but I know some people really like their salt. So all we're doing now is putting that rough coat on here, yeah? I'm just going to put a little bit more, and then I'm going to pop this in the fridge, and we're going to do a few other things, yeah? So I thought tonight that I would decorate the board for us. There we go. Put a bit more on there. Thought I'd decorate the board for us, how Kim Firth did it a few weeks ago. So let's get this in the fridge. So this is the first coat. It's quite a big cake that actually, isn't it? Come out with. Right, so let's move the cake drum again. Let's move the buttercream. Let's move all of this out of the way so I can give myself some space. And put this mixture on the floor because we don't need this one. So let's get this one on the floor. Out of the way. Don't need the jam and the butter, let's get rid of that. Let's clear the table. And let's have a go what Kim made the other week. So I haven't quite decided on what colours I'm going to make this wedding cake. We'll play it by ear. I picked out a couple of colours before. We'll play it by ear. So let's put that buttercream there. That there for later. Let's clean our board. There we go. Right, so when Kim...
Question about gingerbread. Yes, we do have gingerbread icing sugar. It's back in stock.
It is, yeah. Gorgeous flavour, that one, the gingerbread icing sugar. So let's get our cornflour pouch. That's a part of a bag there, Maria. My fault. Your fault, is it?
You made any gluten-free cakes?
You know what, I haven't. As I said before, I'm a hobby baker and I haven't, but I do know lots of ladies follow us on here who do gluten-free. So maybe while they're watching tonight, they will be kind enough to share some recipes with us. But no, I haven't got one. I've got I sometimes look at them and then I just get a bit nervous about it. So we pre-coloured this, Maria and we're asked quite a lot of times, okay, will any of the metallic colours, do you want to pass me that, John, out of the way? Okay. Just pass that out of the way. So we're asked quite a few times, will any of the metallic colours show up metallic in the sugar paste? So Maria did this one, and we used the rose gold, and unfortunately it doesn't. It does have a bit of a shine, but not enough. So I've used the sugar paste direct tonight, okay, so we've coloured this one. We've also done this one in soft caramel. So here we go. I'm just going to put this on here. I'm going to get the sugar paste direct out. I've still got a few bags of this left, a few boxes of this left at £12 for 5 kilos. So I'm just going to do a bit of white. And I think for this, I'll just do it in koala. Is it koala? Is it koala that, John?
Koala.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So let's get a bit of this. So we're going for a beige cake, but it just shows you how lovely this sugar paste is. It really is nice. So we're going to stretch this together, mix this in. So those are the 3 colours that we've used tonight for the sugar paste. And I'll show Maria as well. You know that I love the the Colour Splash range, and I'll tell you for why. There's no problem with any of the gels, but the one thing that I found with the Colour Splash range, it's bake stable, so when you use it in your bakes, it does come out the colour it says on the packet. It does come out the colour in your sugar paste and in your buttercreams, and also it's really cheap as well. It's £1.65, so you can't moan about that. You get 25 grams, and the favourite bit I like about it is you get this little dropper, so you can just drop in, little drop, however much you want at a time, put your lid back, don't have to mess about with those cocktail sticks, and away you go. So we're going to put these 3 colours together now, okay, and we're just going to mould them together like this. Hope I'm doing this right, Kim, if you're watching. I don't know if she's watching tonight.
I haven't spotted her.
You've not spotted her. But Gwen had a go at this. Gwen's no cake decorator at all, and she does make me laugh, Gwen. But give that girl a go. Give that girl her due. She always has a go. So when she was here last time, she said, Carol, I'm going to give that a go and make what Kim made. So I don't know how this is going to go, but let's see. So it could be a total disaster, and I might have too many colours. But we'll see. It's looking a bit muddled up, isn't it? And we're going to roll it out. Oh, I quite like that actually. It's not bad, is it? That nice marbled effect there. So let's move that there. Quite a nice effect. What do you think, eh? Oh, I'm quite impressed with that, John Maria. What do you guys think? Let's stretch it out. Let's see what it looks like underneath. Yeah. It's alright. I don't know what should I say.
The secret is don't mix it too much.
Don't mix it too much. Do you think I mixed it too much? I didn't think I mixed it too long. I think maybe I had probably too much of the one of the colours in, but I still like it anyhow. So that's it. So this acrylic rolling pin, a few of you have asked me before where did I get this from, and I picked it up from the cake show, and the people to go and pick it up off is Tracy and Mark off Bake and Create, and they'll be there at CI, so they sell these bad boys. So I'd certainly go and see them for one of these. And I'm just going to wet my board a moment and get some water. Right, okay. So, there we go. So John just showed me we've got a good audience tonight, which is great. I'm just going to put a bit of water on the board there. You only need to put a fingerful. So I don't think I'm doing bad actually, guys. What do you think? There we go. Slide that on. I'm going to have to stretch him a bit here. There we go. And you know, you always forget something, don't you? I forgot a knife. So we'll have to use a palette knife and chop away from yourself. Ooh, I can't tell you how chuffed I am. I hope the rest of the night goes like this. Tell you, it could go horribly wrong, you never know. So as I say, as I'm a hobby baker, what is a hobby baker? somebody who's just enjoying herself, having fun, and the result makes everybody happy. A professional baker is somebody who bakes cakes for a living, and they do everything the correct way. They also have their own way as well of doing things. And there we go. I think that's all right, not bad. I have heard that you can put this in the oven and bake it. I've got a little mark there, but I actually think it's not a mark. I think it's a bit of the colour not blended in. So I like that. What do we think, guys? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. It's not as marbled as I'd like him to, but that's going to be the base for our wedding cake tonight. So I'm quite pleased with that. So, while we're at this as well, so we've had Christina Ludlam come along, so we don't need the rolling pin anymore. So we've had Christina Ludlam come along, and she used the ornate pearl, okay, from Carol Deacon. What a fantastic little mould that is. There you go. There we go. Fantastic mould. I don't actually know how much it is actually, so if anybody wants, do you know, Charlotte Maria?
17, I think.
Pardon?
17.
No, I think it's a bit dearer than that. I don't know, but if anybody can have a look. Anyhow, so this is the ornate pearl. So what I thought is, because of the way I've done the wedding cakes there, I'm going to do this one just a bit different. So we're going to dab in our sugar paste, our corn flour. Now, you're meant to give it a light dusting as I'm bashing this down on it. Okay, so you don't leave it like that. Okay, you get it out. And there you go, and then you tap it out again, because you don't actually need a lot, yeah? And I'm just wondering if there's enough here, there might be enough here, to not waste this, actually, because I'm going to spray it afterwards. I was going to do it all white, but I think, as it's live on the night, we'll see what happens. We'll use this one, and we'll use this one, and see how we go. I wonder if I'll have enough in there. Not a chance. Now I can see that. So let's take that a bit more white and mix it with this, because we're going to spray this with the Rose Gold PME Luster Spray afterwards. Use any kind of luster spray you want, but we're going to use this bad boy. Yeah. Now I used bronze the other week, but this is the Rose Gold. To me it comes out a bit orangey when I did a spray, but let's see what it looks like tonight when we use it for this. So let's put in the white. Let's get all this in.
The mold is 25.
£25, there you go. Maria's found out. Who found out for us there?
Yes.
Who told us? Have you had a look?
Yeah.
Oh, you're clever, you aren't you?
Laura's put a link on.
Has she? Right, so does anybody want to open the back door? Because I'm absolutely on fire. So, we're just going to put all this in. So we've got 600 viewers then watching so far. Very good. Staying with us. Make sure you stay with us. It's a long session. Don't go away. So you can all still pop up where you're looking from, whether you know me, whether we've got any sneaky spies looking from other cake supplies. I've been told that some of the other shops watch. So any guys that are watching tonight? Martin's here, Rob's here. So any other guys here?
Colin Kendrick just popped up.
Oh, your friend. He'll be dying now. Everybody will be laughing at him. One of John's friends popping up there. He did say to John though the other week, I keep seeing your missus pop up on Facebook. So let's see what we're doing now. What did I do with my rolling pin? I got rid of him, didn't I? There he is. Says he's see-through, I can't see him. So let's get this. Pull this out. I'm going to go that way. And we could possibly have too much. So we need to cut this off because we've got to remember we need to make it thinner. We don't need it very thick. So we have to keep rolling it out. Move that out of the way. So it's nice and thin. Yep. Gonna cut that off. And then let's see if we can remember, if you guys were paying attention, of what Karen and Christina told us to do. So they said, you've got to put it in the mould. And I still think mine's going to be too thick. So I'm going to cut a bit more off. Again. So if you think this is fun, I've actually never used this mould before, and I've never wrapped one round a cake, so we'll see how that goes. Has anybody actually used this mould who's watching tonight? Right, any responses, John? Anybody actually used it? I know quite a lot of you bought it.
No one's responded to that one yet.
No one's responded yet. So let's just cut this off here. I'm hoping I don't have to do another piece, but I think when Maria and I measured it earlier, wrapped the mould round, I think I got the unfortunate bit of having to make another piece, haven't I? Just flatten that out a bit, and then any excess. Karen Davies is probably going mad now, telling me I put too much sugar paste in, but you know what, we have to do what works, don't we? So let's just get that in, keep pushing up. I'm going to put this on our styrofoam dummy. So I'm just going to push it all round.
Julie Smith said she's used hers. It's
Has she?
brilliant.
Julie likes hers, does she? But I think most of you might be a bit shy. Feel free to pop up a picture of what you've made. Be great. So, here we go. And this is supposed to just, oh sorry Maria. So we're just gonna pull this out. And it's just gonna fall out like that. Voila, that was good, wasn't it? Crikey, I was gonna have a nervous breakdown then. What was you lot thinking? Nearly got worried then and thought it was gonna stick. So I'm just gonna have to bore you and make another one because I know that this isn't gonna be long enough for our 6-inch dummy that we've got here. So you're going to have to watch me do this again. But while you're watching me do this again, John can keep coming back. Maybe John would like to show you what's going on sale, things we've got on sale, John, or ask any questions and show them the wedding cake and what we've got. He's just looking at me now that he's got to now move. He was in his resting place there. So we're going to give this a dusting again. And like I say, you don't leave all that corn flour in there, so you tap half of it out. And we're gonna use that actually there. Make this sausage. Hopefully, won't have as much. So how many of you are sat there prepared tonight then? I did say it was going to be a long session. So anybody who's got husbands who they can't hear very well because they haven't have it on low, did you get the earphones out? I did put a message on and say make sure you do that. So just get all your snacks ready. So you sat there. The only thing is don't drink too much because you're going to have to hang on to it. Right, so let's go in here. Do this again. I'm going to put that in there. I think what we'll do is we'll start here. That'll be the best thing. So I think I've not done bad, considering I've not used one of these moulds before.
Yeah, you winged it quite well.
I think I have winged it quite well. I've said that to Maria. In fact, I've said that to a couple of people who've messaged me this week and said, what are you doing? And the whole thing is I'm winging it on the night. That's what it's all about. Then you can all see what it looks like. And the thing is that you're all watching it live, so I can't cheat. I.e., what you see is what you get. One thing is, you don't want to see my face at the moment. I'm absolutely on fire. I'm going to find the kitchen roll in a minute. Send the kitchen roll and nick it in on the dining table here. I think with having the oven on, it's absolutely boiling. There we go. Nice and neat. Give them a roll over. I think I've just put a bit in Karen Davies' little, that little square there. When you see these are not part of the decoration. That's her name and logo. What
fondant are you using?
I'm actually using Sugar Paste Direct, okay? So normally Karen uses her own fondant, and we do have that in stock as well, and it's absolutely delicious. But because I was making this board tonight, this board here, I used the Sugar Paste Direct because we've got it on offer at the moment. So here we go. Look at that, just fell out again. And there you go. It's not perfect there though, I don't think. But you know what? I don't think anybody's going to notice, because it's going to be a bit that we're going to cut off. I think we're only going to need that bit. So that's the ornate pearl effect. And I just need a bag. Put this sugar paste in, and then we're going to stick it together. Just saying, it's not quite perfect, that one. Actually, I think I've smudged it, but it'll do. So here's our little cake. You've got to remember, this is a real cake, guys. Okay, and we are just going to put a little bit of water on this, just to make it wet. In fact, I'll get that turntable again, so you guys can see it a bit higher. So we're just going to put a little bit of water on here. I've actually forgot one bit. How dozy am I? There you go. Told you what happens when it goes live on the night. What do you think I forgot? Has anybody spotted it? Don't tell them, Maria, if you know. Do you know what I forgot? Are they all paying attention? I could do with a little bit of butter. I could do with a bit of sugar paste on there. I haven't got enough, but I'm not going to need all that either. So we'll make it afterwards. So what I'm going to do is just going to put this on. Wait a minute. Stay there, fella. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Now normally if this was a real cake, this would be on a cake board, and it would be, I would probably use royal icing to stick it to the cake board. So I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. Yeah. Fighting with me. There we go. Fighting with me. There we go. And then the good thing is, because we're using Nifty Nozzles, any of the top bits we can actually cover up. Any top bits I've made a mistake with, we can actually cover up with Nifty Nozzles. So let's just push it on there. I don't get any water in there. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to take this chair and sit down because I need to look at this one. It looks quite nice that actually, doesn't it? So don't worry about all this at the top, because we're going to cover all that when I show you with Nifty Nozzles. Okay, I might just peel it off a little bit, just lift it a little bit more, just so it's in line, because I would probably say it's me who's out of line, not the dummy. This is what happens, guys, when you wing it on the night. Yeah? Hope you all appreciate me winging it. What do they think then, John? I shouldn't wing it on the night. Right, okay. So when Christina was here the other week, she got the scissors out and she cut it. So let's see, this is what we're going to do. So I think that we need that much. I'm going to break that off there. I'm going to cut it through there. And we're actually going to cut it in, which will be loads of fun. So, just going to go up there. Let's see if we can get that in there. No, we need to go a bit more. So I think that's that shape there, isn't it? We need to go a little bit more. Christina, love, where are you now when I need you? She is on holiday, enjoying herself. Probably watching this, laughing her head off. If she's got any sense, she should be drunk. So what I've done is, I've just cut with the shape. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit more. So just put the line there. So we're just going to cut a little bit more. I'm going to follow that round there. And put this in. Just put water on here. Don't know where I did actually. If I did, it's probably dried in now. So let's get them in there. Phase in. Phase in. Yeah. And then when we spray in with the spray in a minute, we should be able to wing this. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to look at it this way. It's very difficult for me to try and look at it that way. How much do I need to come out? So, there we go. I'm going to just stretch him in. Just going to stretch him in there, push him in there. And there we go. That's going to be the back. Okay, we always have a back. Yeah, this is the bit we're going to hide afterwards. So when we finish this later, who's had a back of a cake before? Because we've got one here. There we go. Ta-da! I don't think that looks too bad, that. For spinning round fast, can you notice? John's thinking, how fast should I spin him?
Cake can have 2 backs.
Eh?
Cake can have 2 backs.
Cake can have... He's only got 1 back. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with that, actually. Let's just stick a little bit in there as well. That little gap. So I think once we've sprayed him up, we're going to be absolutely fine. So what I'm also going to do then, just going to mould all this together. I don't know whether to buttercream the top actually. I could, what do you think, John? We'll just buttercream the top. I think so. Yeah. Right, yeah, I think I will, because I'm going to put my flowers on it actually. So while that's doing now, let's get this sprayed. So let's get this board out the way. So we'll stick him up here on our gourmet gadgetry thing. No?
What's it there?
Pardon? Not going to go anywhere. Absolutely fine. It's all right. So we're going to move that out of the way. Let's get our spray gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put buttercream on here, guys, because I actually think it'll look nice with buttercream on. But I'm now going to spray this with the PME Rose Gold. So let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, let's get my mould out of the way. And let's just spray this up. Now you can buy a little gun thing for it so that you get an even spray. But we're just going to just lustre it up with this rose gold spray.
Sarah's asked, how's the cake in the oven?
Oh, it needs 1.5 hours, so don't worry. It's only been in 40 minutes, 37 minutes. Yeah. Is that even enough? It's even enough, isn't it? Yeah.
Wendy said she can smell burning.
She can smell burning. Wendy, there's no burning going on in this kitchen.
I can smell mustard spray. We're about
I can smell
to pass
luster
out
spray. So there we go, that's him lustered up. So we get rid of all the sugar paste now because we don't need that ever again. So that was the Karen Davies ornate mould, that's what we've used there. We've used the PME luster spray, corn flour pouch, water. Just going to clean up my little thing here. And my cloth. We're going to get out the cake again. The cake that we've already put in the fridge with its first crumb coat, and do the second crumb coat, the big cake. Yeah. So let's go and get that. Cake's looking good, guys. The light's on in the oven. John wants to show it here. This one off. This one on. Right, so I've got to now crumb coat this, which is going to be fun. Was this the bowl? It was the bowl, wasn't it? So this one's out the oven, out the fridge. The other one's still in the oven, and we're now going for our second crumb coat. So this is the thicker crumb coat. Now again, you can make this as smooth or as thick as you want, and I'm going to make it nice and thick.
Donna's asked if she can use her dry colour powders instead of a spray.
What, for dusting that? Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think that would be nice, that rose gold. I think that would be absolutely lovely, brushed onto it, absolutely. Which Donna's that?
Donna Ryan.
All right. Hi, Donna. Yes, I think you'll be fine with that there if you don't want to use the spray. To be fair, I only really wanted to use that spray tonight just to see what the colour was, because it said it was rose gold. Now, I know when I sprayed it the other week, I thought it was a bit orangey. I do quite like it, actually. So we've gone round our cake again. So we're going to do a thicker one. And the reason you put it in the fridge, guys, for those who aren't sure why you put it in the fridge, is that the reason it's called a crumb coat is that the first coat keeps all the crumbs in. Yeah, and then your second coat you should be able to put on without having any crumbs on it, so, unless you have got them on the table when you put your knife down. But the thing with Nifty Nozzles is, which is what I wanted to show you tonight, your cake doesn't have to be perfect. So you don't have to get this perfect. This is called rustic. So if anybody asks you, remember the word rustic, and Carol says, yeah? Your cake can be anything it wants. As long as you're always happy with it, that's all that matters. So, just going to put another coat on. I know some of you guys have got the Pro Foster, so you'll be all there thinking how lovely and smooth you can get it. But a lot of people have asked me, how did I get that effect on the wedding cake? So John's just going to show them that effect on the wedding cake. And I will tell you, more by good luck. And that's what's going to happen tonight. And that's why I call it rustic. Don't lie to you guys, I tell you as it is. Right then. John, are we ready?
Someone's just asking what the flowers are made of.
The flowers are made of buttercream. Okay. Oh, and I started telling you the recipe before, didn't I? So the buttercream recipe is you beat your butter, so 500 grams of butter minimum. Okay. Tonight I've used 2 lots of 500. So for this cake I've used 2 lots of 500 because I'm crumb coating the cake, and 2 because I need it for the nozzles. So I'm going to use this side of the scraper. He's sharp. So if you've had a row with your husband or your best mate or whoever, make sure you haven't got this in your hand, because the last thing you want to do is throw this bad boy away. Okay? Now, I'm not very good at cake scraping, alright? So the reason I like this is because I'm going to create that rustic effect, and you're going to see how it is now. So all you professionals will want it absolutely smooth and perfect, but that's not what's going to happen here. What we're going to do is we're going to sit the scraper in, and we are just going to go round like that, all the way round. Okay? And don't worry if you've caught the bottom of the cake there, because we're going to hide all that afterwards, because that's what Nifty Nozzles is all about. Yeah? So that's that one there. That's all we're going to do with that cake. And then I am going to try and get that cake off there onto here, which will be great fun. So let's see how we're going to do that. So take a deep breath for me, guys, because we've got to get it into the centre here. Look. Okay, it's not quite centre. So I'm just going to push him a little bit. There you go. Yeah, do. Perfect. Let's get rid of this board. Let me wash my cloth. So, are you enjoying it so far, guys? Are you all still with me? Anybody disappeared yet? Any questions? I know you all want me to check this cake, don't you? It's been in the oven 45 minutes. So, then we're going to dowel. So let's get this on here. Let me dry my hands. Let me dry my hands. Let's get this on here again.
Somebody asked, don't you put a bit of buttercream underneath the cake to keep it in place?
You know what you can do, but you won't need to with this cake, believe me.
Or if you forget.
I did forget, but you don't have to. This cake ain't going nowhere. But yeah, technically, you should. And I forgot all about that. That's what happens when you go live on the night. You forget things. Who was that? Who realised that?
I'm not
So
sure.
someone was paying attention, doesn't it? So what am I looking for in here now? Scissors. Dowel.
Scissors?
Ah, there we go. Right, so there's the scissors. So you can use several things for doweling a cake. I like to use these bad boys. They're called jumbo straws, and you can get them off the internet, or you can get them from Lakeland. They're great. They come in different colours. Okay, and the reason I like to use them, and again, it's down to personal preference. Okay, I like to use these because when I put these into the cake, they're sturdy, and the cake goes up inside, and that helps keep them sturdy as well. Lots of people like to use these wooden dowels. You can get these from Lakeland as well. I don't like using wooden dowels. I find them difficult to cut, whereas I find the straws really very, very easy. So what we're going to do is, we're going to put the pink one in the centre, okay? So that's just going to go in the centre. We're going to pull it up, and you're going to ask, why would you down a cake? So I'm just going to snip it there, okay? I'm going to pull it up a little bit because I know I have to take it just a bit below that. Why would you down a cake? Well, when you've got a heavy cake with tiers all sat on each other, the last thing you need is your cake to start collapsing. So it's very important that you do. And then what I do then is, you need to think about the size of your next cake going on top. So when you put your dowels in, think about, we're going to put a 6-inch in on here, so there's no point putting your dowels over here. So you need to be about here, yeah? So we're going to go in there, and we're going to come up. So I'm just going to snip there, going to pull up, you can see where my snip is. And I'm just going to go a bit lower than that. Yeah, and there you go, little common mistake, cutting at an angle. So you might be able to see him there, so we're just going to make sure we cut that off from the angle, pop him in. I'm going to put another one here. Now, some people don't always put lots of dowels in, but I think you should have a minimum of 5 personally. And I think you're absolutely bonkers if you don't put any in. I think you're just asking for trouble. Just going to go there. I'm going to cut it underneath there. So that was a bit higher, so it needs to come up again. Oops, there we go, nearly got you. Sent it the right way, Maria. Aye.
At least it wasn't the cake scraper.
At least it wasn't the cake scraper, yeah. No, you don't deserve the cake scraper, love.
Crikey, not today.
Eh? Pardon? I don't like to get rid of anyone, I just like to torture them forever. Just do that. Okay, so there we are. Okay, then we're going to get this next cake. So you can see what we've done there, we've doweled it. Then we're going to get our very heavy next cake. So our very, very heavy next cake. So you've got to remember that this is our, let's centralise him. So we're going to put him on there. So you're going to think, well, Carol's cake isn't level, okay? But as I said, this is Nifty Nozzles, so it doesn't matter, yeah? So we're going to put that on there. I'm going to put some buttercream on here. Set a bit of thing up. So we're going to put buttercream on here. It'll all come together in a bit. So don't worry, you'll be looking at this thinking, what's going on here? But this will all come together shortly. You don't need to panic. So, put buttercream on here. Probably might have been better if I had levelled the top one. But as I say, it's Nifty Nozzles, so it doesn't really matter. Because all those gaps are going to be filled in. It's a bit light because obviously it's a styrofoam cake. Yeah. So we've got that on there. And then we are going to stick this one on. This would normally go, if this was real cake, you would dowel this, okay? You'd put one in the centre and maybe 2 side by side. Yep. But this is only a small, this is only 4 inches, okay? So we're just going to buttercream him up as well. So I'm just going to crumb coat him this way. We're just going to rough coat him. So I did have every intention of making all real cake tonight, but as in the life of Carol at Sugar and Crumbs. I have a million things to do. I had a Nifty Nozzles class yesterday with Barbara, a little one-to-one, which was a great day. I had the grandchildren on Saturday, and poor little Jasmine was ever so poorly. Threw up at the play centre and then was perfectly happy, played in the play centre, ran around like a fool, everything great, jumped in the car and threw up all over me again. So she threw up over her dad first, played, and then threw up over me, and then she was happy as Larry again. So we have no idea what was wrong with her. Somebody said it was a little 24-hour bug, but she wasn't poorly, so she just gave that treat to me and her dad. I think John's face was more of a picture. I think he was very glad to go in the play centre with the rest of the kids, weren't he, John, out the way? Yes. Aye. And leave me and Wesley to it. I think Wesley would have done anything he could to have left us to it. So this little one here, okay, so all we're doing here now is rough coating this, because we don't really need to do anything spectacular with this at all. So we're just going to take this round. So you see what I mean, guys? You don't have to be professional for this. So let's get my scraper again. What did I do with that bad boy? Where did I put him? There he is. Okay. So I'm just going to use this little square side now, and I'm going to twist him around. So just going to twist him around so that we get this little rustic effect here. Yeah. We're going to put buttercream on the top, and then we're going to start mixing our colours. We're going to start mixing our colours. Buttercream on the top. There we go. Right, so let's get rid of all this now. And let's start mixing our colours. Let's get our cake out of the way. Sat over there. Da-da-da-da. There we go. So don't worry about him at the moment. He's doing perfectly fine. And then let's get our buttercream colours all cleaned up, put together. People asking about that cake, are they, John? Oh, I know what I came round there for with you before, was to get a skewer out of the oven. So let's have a look. Just let me go on this roller. Get the skewer out.
So Sabrine's asking if we're bringing all the nozzles to Birmingham. Yes, we will.
We are, we'll have them all there. We won't have the minis, I'm afraid. They're not going to arrive in time. So do you want to have a look how this cake is doing at the moment, John? Have a quick look. So they say you shouldn't really look in the oven, okay, and you should be able to feel by touch. And to me, it's not ready because you feel that wobble on it. It's not ready. And also, Carol says, you know when it's cooked, it's coming away from the sides. So I'm going to stick my skewer in, just so you know, but I know it's not cooked. Well, actually, it's coming out clean. Oh, maybe it is. Don't know. He's not been in there for an hour and a half, so I'm not going to chance it yet. I prefer to leave him in there at the time that she said, an hour and a half, because I don't want a wet base in the middle. I want to make sure he's cooked. So here we go. We're going to use the hot pink. I'm going to use the hot pink. I'm going to use the leaf colour. Need quite a bit of leaf. I'm going to use a small amount for the... John, can you pass me some more balls like that, please? Sorry. So, sorry guys. So, any questions you want to ask why I just mix buttercreams? So, I've added the Colour Splash hot pink here. Okay. Now, when you mix your buttercream, so we've got the recipe. I'll finally get there in a minute. So, we've got the recipe. The recipe is 100 grams of icing sugar. You can either use the whole amount flavoured or 500 grams flavoured and 500 grams plain. 500 grams of...
1,000 grams.
1,000. I know, sorry. Well, you know, I'm just testing them, John, seeing if they're paying attention. Been here such a long time, haven't they? So 1,000 grams, 1 kilo. So thank you, whoever that was. Who was that? Was that you?
No, it was me.
Oh, was that you? Oh, John, are you paying attention?
I am, surprisingly.
So 1,000 grams or 1 kilo of icing sugar. It can be sugar and crumbs flavoured icing sugar, all of it. Or you can use half a sugar and crumbs flavoured icing sugar and half plain. Or you can use all plain and just add your own flavouring if you wish. Okay. I mix the butter until it's nice and soft. The butter needs to be at room temperature. Okay. It's very important that it is at room temperature. And to make sure it's a nice medium consistency. I do keep saying, and I'll just put this on here so it can stop. I do keep hearing people saying it's got to be firm, and it really hasn't got to be firm. And those ladies who've been to the cake shows or been on my Nifty Nozzles class know that it's not firm. It's a medium consistency. I would probably like to say it's soft, but I don't want to say soft because then we might get runny. So you should be able to paddle it nice and easy like this, okay? So to save time tonight, I am going to do as much decorating as I can, but I might miss some bits because I just don't know how bored you'll get. But if you're happy to stay with me, we'll do the whole lot. So this is the green that we're going to use for the leaves. We're going to use the pink for the rose. Then I was going to make a latte colour, so I've got a couple of balls here. So I'm going to make a latte colour, or soft caramel, and the cola colour, sorry, that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the caramel, squeeze that in. Let's get these all in. And I know a few of you want to see me two-tone, and John's just going to go over the nozzles with you as well. And I'll get him to show you a couple of things close up, what we've made before. So as you know guys, these are the genuine Russian piping tips. These are all made by Alexander in Russia, who is the guy who is the designer for these. Don't be buying a cheap copy. And while we're talking about cheap copies, just let me show you this, guys, okay? So this is my fern leaf one. Let's see, fern leaf. Our Laura designed this, thank you Maria. Laura designed this, okay, and this is our tip. And you're seeing this advertised at the moment as a copy, but I just decorated this one the other day in our pink cupcake cases with the balls, exactly as you see. The Chinese have nicked our pictures, okay, and I just put a little hologram white glitter dust on there. And then we also do the Christmas tree, okay, and they're on the website as well. We brought them out last November. So I have registered them as patent designs, okay, and we brought them out last November. But just to show a point to you, the fern one, I haven't got the Chinese copy, but it is on its way to me, so I will show it you next week. But this is what happens. This is the two genuine ones, and this is what you get when you buy the Chinese copies, okay? So when you buy the Chinese copies, they've nicked mine and Laura's photograph. These are our Laura's designs, okay, that Alexander made for her. And the Chinese have taken our cupcakes, put them on eBay, put them on Amazon, and you'll see that they use our photographs of our nozzles, but that's what you actually get, okay? So don't be fooled by a Chinese copy. That's what I'm just letting you know. So we're happily mixing in here. And Maria's helping me over there. She's got the soft caramel. I'm going to put the cola in here. I'm going to make this one. I need another palette knife, which I'll just grab one from over there. Never thought I'd run out of palette knives, but I am. So are you enjoying it all tonight? Do you want to let me know? It's quite daunting when you're in here, and I know it's a long time for you guys sat there. And some of you may be thinking, hurry up, Carol, but I am going as fast as I can. And when you think that we're putting a cake together in a couple of hours, making buttercream and colouring it, piping it, bagging it up, it's quite a lot to do. So going back to the buttercream, I might get there eventually tonight. So the butter, room temperature, into the mixer. Mix it, okay? So give it a really good beating, okay? Till it's all, when you put butter in, it's normally a yellow colour, but give it a nice big beating until it's nice and white. And then add your icing sugar. Now don't turn the mixer on, otherwise you're just going to fill your kitchen up with icing sugar cloud. So chop it all in first and then give it a good mix. One of the things that you need to watch is that you don't over mix so that it's aerated, it's got loads of bubbles in. But a way to get out your bubbles, if I can just get John back here, when you put your colour in, okay, so if your buttercream is too bubbly, and too frothy, when you put your colour in, instead of mixing it in the blender, put it in a bowl, put your colour in, and then just paddle the colour in, okay? Don't be mixing it in, because all you're going to do is just create more and more bubbles. So just flatten those bubbles out, like that. Yeah, okay. So we've got that one, we've got that one. Now let's start filling these piping bags. So we're going to do a little bit of pink in here, Maria. We're using the 224. We're only putting a little bit in. Just putting in a little bit more than that. So just a little bit in. So we're using a 224 because this is going to be our infill flour. So this is when we've got gaps. Okay. Then we need to do our berries. So let's get the berries. So we're using the Wilton 10. These come in the set, and you're going to have our berries there. So let's put some of the green in for a couple of berries. Just gives it a little bit more detail. So we'll just put a bit of that in. Get that one ready. Then we want the Wilton 5 for the colour to go with our berry. And I think what we'll do is we'll use this nice caramel colour. So that goes with that's the little top of our berry. So there's not much going in these bags here. And then we've got to start on the bigger nozzles. So we're going to do the blossom, and the blossom we're going to two-tone, okay? Now this nozzle here, the reason I put this in the wedding cake bundle, I think it does give a really nice effect, but it's not actually a big seller, and I think you're all missing out on this one. Laura designed this one as well, but it's actually a fab looking nozzle. Just looking at my cake there, it's looking a bit like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, isn't it? So can't get it all right on the night. So what we're going to do is we're going to two-tone. So I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. I pulled the bag over my hand, yeah, like that, so that my nails are up at the top. I put a coat all round. So anybody who wanted to know how to two-tone, put a coat all the way round, and I'm actually going to put green in the middle, yeah. So that's my green. That flower, and this one's called Blossom. And then we've got Fantasia, which I'm going to use the cola for. So you can see here, I've made 2 lots of buttercream. So some I've used for the cake and some I've used for the nozzles, but I am going to have to mix some more. So let's just get this in here. So this is the Fantasia. I quite like these natural colours. I really would have loved to have been able to do a silver and grey cake. That's what I was thinking of doing tonight, something different. Maria and I was discussing that, but then we thought that the grey wouldn't come across very well. So let's just get the posy in on here. And the posy we'll do on pink. And I'm just going to spread the pink round the outside. I'm just going to two-tone this again. Yeah, so there's the posy. So we'll just two-tone the pink. Doesn't have to be really neat. And then we're going to put some of this soft caramel in the centre. That's that one. Do that one there. There we go. And then we've got the rose. We do get a rose nozzle in it. We don't actually specify which rose nozzle you get. There's so many roses in the Nifty Nozzles range, but you actually don't need all of them. So you'll either get a beauty, a ruby, or a romance rose. So I am going to have to make some more buttercream up, guys. Sorry about that. So has anybody got any questions, John? Anybody still want to know anything yet?
Yeah.
They're all wondering how this cake's going to pull together. So our cake has been in the oven for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Let me just have a look at it again. I think I might wing it and take it out. Let's see. Actually, it is just coming away from the sides now. So you can just see it coming away from the sides of the pan. And she says when it comes away, it's actually baked. So I'm going to take that out the oven now. But I'm just going to leave the door open because I've got nowhere for it to go. It'll have to stay there. It can cool down. Let me just get some more buttercream in here because we're going to need some more colours. So we're definitely going to need some more green. And then I'm going to put this in the bag. So I'm going to talk to you about this one in a minute. Just give me a few minutes and let me talk to you about this nozzle. In fact, I'll talk to you about this while Maria mixes some colour for me. So I'll explain it to you. What's going on here. So there you go, Maria. If you can just blend that for me. I show them. So lots of you always ask, do I sell a coupler with Nifty Nozzles? And I don't, because there isn't a proper one out there yet. And lots of you have bought this bad boy and asked me how to use it. So this bad boy here, I don't sell him and I'm not going to sell him either. The Chinese brought this one out. This is one of our nozzles. So they brought it out and it looks like this. So let's just pull all the little bits out because this is how you get it. And seeing so many of you are always wanting to know how the nozzles work, if you struggle with having the nozzles work, by God, don't buy one of these because you're going to be in big trouble. So wait a minute, I'm in big trouble. Just 1 second. So I get asked all the time, is there a coupler? And I'm going to tell you, no, there isn't. This is the one that the Chinese show you, and they always show you a nice little picture of all the colours coming out, which is what they've actually painted on in Photoshop. It's not actually there. So for you to use this coupler, okay, It then comes in 3 parts. And then for you to be able to do that then, you need to have 3 separate bags and cut your bag, which we did previously. Then you cut another bag and another bag. Okay, didn't need all that when I was showing you how to two-tone. And then you've got to get all these together. Yeah. Got to get your nozzle on. So just look at this now, because I want you to pay attention about this now. Okay, so that there only has that much distant. Okay, so what do you think is going on in here? Okay, that's a big space. So when you squirt, all the coloured buttercream here is going to go into this space here and just all become, just going to mould into one. So you put that on there. And you've got to get that on, okay, which is, I have to tell you, is a job on its own. Has anybody bought one of these? I have spoke to ladies who've got them and they're struggling. Okay, so we're going to get this on, right. We haven't even got the buttercream in here, guys, yet. Okay. I'm not even going to put buttercream in, but I can't even get it on with the bags. So there you go, guys. So then you've got these 3 things here. Now what type of contraption is that? Okay, so you've now got to get your buttercream, 3 different colours in there. Have you got it? Okay, then you've got to squeeze your bag, twist it. Yeah, hope that you don't put too much buttercream, because remember, this isn't looking too bad because it's empty. But if you fill it up with buttercream, believe me, it's not going to look like that. You're not even going to get your hand round it, okay? And then you've got to hold them all together while you squeeze. Remember, the nozzle only comes to there. It's all going to go into there. And if you think you're going to get 3 colours coming out there, I'll be amazed. It's not going to happen. So guys, don't waste your time with that bunch of rubbish, okay? There's not really a decent coupler out yet. And they've been selling these, they're that desperate to sell them, they sell you 4 now in one go. Don't waste your money. Chinese rubbish. So let me get myself another bag. I think John's back's breaking here. Let me move this cake so that he can lean over. A bit more. Now, John. And then what we're going to do now is we are going to make leaves up. So we've just got 1 nozzle left to do. And this is our leaf. Okay. And again, with the leaf, I'm actually going to two-tone the leaf as well. So I'm just going to put in the green there. I'm going to get a really nice big clump of this. Put that down the middle for the leaves. Do you want a chair, John? Yeah, poor man's suffering. There you go. And then we're going to start to decorate. So let me move all this around. And if you want, John, I can move this around and get you a chair if you like. Can we get you a chair there? So you can sit. Okay. And then we're going to bring our cake over here and have a look at how one-sided he may be. I should have straightened that up really, shouldn't I? Shouldn't have been so lazy. Right, okay. And then we're going to get an empty bag. I'm not going to cut it. And we're just going to fill it up with buttercream. So we're just going to put white buttercream in here. We're on it, guys, don't worry. We haven't got much longer to do. So I hope you're enjoying it so far.
Yeah, anybody who can't stay to the end, it will be available to watch again tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be on our YouTube channel. I do know lots of you do go over to our YouTube channel. You know, when you watch it on YouTube, do me a favour and subscribe, will you? Because it would be really nice if you put your comment on there what you thought. Don't just watch it, and also put the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. So here we go. Are we ready? How are you doing, John? I think you've got a broken back, so have I. So here we go, guys. So what I'm going to do is this first bag. Are you up with us? So I've just emptied a bag. There's no nozzle in here. And what we're going to do is we are just going to do a nice round like that. Doesn't have to be neat. And we are going to do a blob there. One there. I remember showing Maria this. And when we got nominated for the Cake Masters Awards, thank you very much, we had to do a little video, Maria and I. And I did that wedding cake over there for the video. And I could see Maria's face when I did this. She wondered what the hell I was doing, didn't you, girl? Hey, Maria. You thought, what type of decorating is this? So we are just going over there. Okay. So that's our cake. And then we're going to start putting our flowers on. So here we go. For the nozzles, I always tell you to sit on top. So I'm not sure what John can actually see there. So we're just going to squeeze. Let me just come round here. So I've got to try and do this so I don't get my hand in the way, which is even more difficult. So I'm just going to squeeze and squeeze. And we're just going to put these randomly around. And we're going to put one on there. Sorry, Maria. And we're going to put one in there. And we'll put one on there again. And then we'll go here. So I hope you're with me so far, guys. I'm going to put one there. I'll keep this a bit even. And then we'll keep going round. Put one on there. Let me just show you what you can see. So there we go. It's on there. He's on there. Okay. So that's roses, one on each one. Then we're going to use the the posy. So let's just get the posy on there. So we're just going to squeeze up 1 centimetre. Let's just show you again, up 1 centimetre. Let's stick that one there, up 1 centimetre. And then we're going to put one in there. Yeah, try not to pull it up. That one there is a bit too floppy because I've pulled him out just a bit too long. Needs to be like that really. So, yeah. Just going to put one on there. In fact, I'm just going to cut that one off because he's gone a bit floppy. So we'll just cut him off. See where I said before, it doesn't really matter about the edge of that pearl border. Well, in a minute, it doesn't matter. So when we put all, I've gone and done the same trick again. Crikey. Just pull him out again. And then I'm going to stick this one on there. I'm going to stick that one on there. That's quite nice, the pink and caramel colour, isn't it? Are you liking it so far, guys? So I'm going to give you a tip tonight. When you decorate this board, let it dry. I think maybe let it dry overnight, because one of the things I've kept doing tonight is I keep touching the board and you'll see it's gone in places, which is a bit of a shame. So we're going to use the Fantasia. So the Fantasia is another extra large nozzle. It's really pretty, this one. All these nozzles here, my daughter Laura designed. So Alexander made them for us. So Laura, who comes on, who's just had the baby, who comes on and makes marshmallows and fudge for you and chocolate brownies. She does, these are her designs. So this Fantasia gets really pretty. So let's just stick some up there. And we'll stick one up there. And we'll stick one up there. That one fell out. Let's see where else we've got one. So I don't know, can you get close enough there, John, Maria? Are you able to see okay? You haven't got my big hand in the way?
No.
Right, so let's put one there. So I think I've got one of those all the way around. Yeah, so I'm going to share all of those. Then we'll get the blossom. So the blossom one, I really like this one. And again, this one's one of Laura's as well. So we're just going to pull that off. And it comes to a point. So, yeah, for that pointy effect. And you can see it in there. You see how it comes to a point? Quite like that. Quite like the inside. If you look, can you see the inside? Can you go in close? See the little detail inside? Yeah? Okay, so I'm just going to take a seat while we go lower down. I'm sure you're all jealous, aren't you? John is. His back's killing him. And my buttercream is just getting probably a little bit too warm. There we go. Just gonna squeeze that out there. Squeeze that out there. So let's see how we're doing now. Yep, I think they're all on. Super. Let's get a few more pink roses going in. So fill around. So you'll see there's lots of little gaps and things. And they're all the things we're going to fill in with using the Nifty Nozzles. Yeah, so what I'm trying to show to you guys is one of the things with using Nifty Nozzles, if you've got to decorate a cake very quickly, then you can. So, you know, I made cakes today. You can make your cakes, let them cool, get your buttercream made. Somebody rings you and asks you for a wedding cake, i.e. today. I've seen it so many times, people say I've been rang for an emergency cake. The original one collapsed or they forgot to do an order last minute. So they forgot an order and they've got to come up with something quick. Then you can apologise to your bride and say, but I can whip you one of these up fairly quickly. So let's do this. I'm just going to put on a couple of more roses. Everybody loves roses. I'm just going to stick a few there. Stick one there. One there. And then, not sure if our Laura's still with us. Right, so I think we are covered up. Yeah, I think we're covered up. So let's get the berries going. So see what you can see there, berries. Berries are going to hide lots of things. I've taken my glasses off of these because I'm long-sighted, short-sighted. Actually, I don't know what I am. But so we're just going to put in a couple of little berries. Okay, so we're just going to stick those in. All you do is just squeeze this ball. I'm going to put a couple up there. So you'll see that I've got a bit of pink buttercream on there because I've just done what I tell you guys not to do, and that is had my ruffle here, so it's scraping that flower there. So just going to do a couple of little berries in there. So it does take a little bit of time, this, but it's worth the effort. So I'm sure John's praying I would get a move on. But I'm sorry, John, we've got to go with it. We've told everybody we'll finish this. So what do you think, guys? Do you like it so far? What are they saying, John? Are they liking it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sound enthusiastic, though? Yeah? Well, I'm not too convinced. No response from John. Hey?
I think this bar is done.
Well,
Lots of likes, lots of thumbs up.
yeah, well, it's just nice to be motivated, John, knowing that you're being appreciated here. You know, we know you're breaking your back, I'm breaking mine too. So it's, we're going to have fun filling in that bit, but we will do, don't worry. So I've just got to put these berries on because they do give a nice effect. Right, have I got them on all the way yet? No. Just 1 second. You just keep going round. Loads of things you could actually put on, really. But we're just gonna do this. So not long, guys, before we finish, and then I'll let you all go and have a wee and a cup of tea, and you can come back for a catch up. But while I'm sat here, please do ask any questions while you're watching this. Are they as bored as you, love? Right, okay. So let's get this, let's get my little top ones on. So you've seen me do those little balls now. So it's quite nice now if you just go in and fill them and put them together. Yeah. So push them in. Now, if I had more time, I would spend a bit more time doing this, a bit neater. But this is all showing you how to just quickly put this together. And by the way, I don't know if Selma's watching tonight, but she's asked me, will I give her a shout out? If you'll go over to her YouTube page and have a look at her videos that she does. She's called Sal's Bakes and Cakes. So while you're over there looking at Sugar and Crumbs and Nifty Nozzles, you can also have a look at one of your fellow comrades who watches every week. So let's just keep going on. Can you see there, John Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know it gets a bit monotonous, this, but we've got to finish it. So I'll just put in a few leaves now just to change it a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to, ooh, did you get a spray? So we're just going to go down there. Yeah. Let me just, and we're just going to go up here. And leaves are important. So let's just put a few here. Leaves all pull it together. Oh, he wasn't a leaf, was he? to put in a nice big flower there. And a rose. Just gonna stick a rose there. Pull up. Yeah. And I'm gonna do it. Sticking a rose. And you just get your leaf nozzle, this is the 352, and you just stick it in on the angle there and just bring him up ever so easy. I'm just going to put a couple down here, a couple there, and a couple there. Just hide a few things. There you go. So guys, what do you think? Is it pulling together for you? John? Yeah. John. Right, let's finish off a couple of these again. Let's do that. Let's see, one down there. So guys, I am showing you here live, okay? You have to bear with me that it's not the neatest cake, but in, what time is it now, John? John?
10.
I don't know.
So it's 10 o'clock. So we've been here 2 hours. I've made a cake in 2 hours, popped it in the oven. I've made buttercream. I've used the Karen Davies mould. I've stacked the cake, dowelled the cake for you, and put it all together. So in 2 hours, we've done all those things. So we've not finished it yet, but I think John's back's about to break. So what I'm actually going to do is bring it to an end, let you all run to the loo, and then anybody who wants to catch up with me can catch up with me. So let me just finish these bits, and I will get myself a brew as well. So let me just stop there now. Okay, so what do we think then, so far? Do we like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So he's not finished, okay? But like I said to you guys, we've made buttercream, we've coloured buttercream, we've two-toned the Nifty Nozzles, we've used the Karen Davies mould, the ornate pearl, we've made a Madeira cake, which I think we should be able to take out the oven now. So, we've made a Madeira cake. Oh, here we go. Which is here. There we go. Nice Madeira cake. So we've made that live while you've been watching. So we've done quite a lot, don't you think, guys? Yeah? All in 2 hours. So I hope you all appreciate it, okay? And I am going to go away for the next 15 minutes. It's 10:05. If you want to join me in 10:20, I'll have had a cup of tea. Hopefully you lot have had one, and you'll come back and see the last 10 minutes where I finish this cake. So anybody got anything to say, John, quickly before we go?
No, lots of thumbs up, lots of love hearts.
Okay,
Yes,
have you
thank you very
enjoyed
much.
it? You like it? Yeah, we have done a lot, haven't we? We've done a board. So I think I've shown you lots of things, and again, it's not perfect, but if anybody can do all that in 2 hours, like I have, God help you. So there we go. So we're going to finish us off when I come back. Yeah? So I'll see you about 10:20. Make sure you come back. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I tell you what I forgot to tell you. Don't press the magic button. If you don't do catch up next week, don't do catch up later, I need to tell you who's here next week. Lynn Hill is here next week from, how do you say it, John?
Clandestine Cake Club.
Clandestine Cake Club. Okay, so she's here next week. She has a fantastic group. She's actually going to make a Christmas punch cake live for you. I'm going to use the gourmet gadgetry there, and we'll just quickly use that, put that together, and she's going to tell you all about the club. It's free, I think it is, to join, and it's a Sunday members club. She has a recipe book, and she's a lovely lady. She's been a fan of Sugar and Crumbs since we started, and she's going to kindly pop along and make a Christmas punch cake for you, ready for Christmas. So hopefully I'll see you at 10:20. If not, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.